Is Star Wars The Last Jedi the worst Star Wars movie? Hey guys, welcome to the review of Star Wars The Last Jedi. The premise of the movie is basically simple. Rey is trying to get Luke back to the Resistance. Leia is trying to flee the First Order fleet. And at the same time, you have Finn and Rose going through some weird ass, I don't know, heist type stuff. I don't even know what they were trying to do. I know the title of the video is about how Disney ruined the movie. So when I saw the first episode 7 directed by J.J. Abrams, it was really good. It was very well done. I really enjoyed that movie, and I really felt that the franchise was on the right track. Many felt it felt like a remake of the episode from The New Hope. Now the thing is, I did enjoy the movie, and I did not feel like it was like that much, but it did have similarities, and it gave back the nostalgia, and also it was a really well done movie. But the thing is, coming from that, the new movie was given to Rian Johnson, and I don't know what they had done with the movie, but it felt like the movie was not in par with the previous 7 films, and that from coming from the J.J. Abrams movie, this one was a very different movie. It felt quite awkward and weird with many things. I mean, we had Luke Skywalker back, but at what cost? It was just weird. It did not feel like the things were done right. Like the whole plot arc with Finn and Rose. I mean, they could have avoided that and they could have made it something different and something meaningful. Poe at the same time was just annoying. Like it did not feel like the Poe from episode 7.
On a side note, I really felt like Supreme Leader Snoke, played by Andy Serkis, was like really downplayed. I felt that they hyped it up in such a way that he was going to be this epic guy who was going to be doing all sorts of crazy stuff, but it felt really downplayed. Like I said, Rian Johnson, I really feel that he did not capture the essence of the characters from the previous movies and just did some stuff. I don't know what he did, but he just did it.
So yeah, I mean, we had Leia going through some stuff, and every time when something is done, there was a joke made. I mean, like, I understand jokes are a part of the movie, but it felt very off most of the time. Like when I went in, I was expecting a very, melodramatic, serious kind of movie, but what we ended up with is like a bunch of jokes just put in together, and we had porgs, everywhere. Like, there was some freaking product placement. I mean, I understand you want product placement. You do that in a few scenes which were adorable, but at the same time, they did it in such a way that, it was just like, whoa, it's just random stuff. Like, a lot of scenes in this movie did not gel up well, and they tried to do so many things, and it felt like Amazing Spider-Man 2. Like, they had so many subplots, and it was just weird out of the way. So again, I felt that the whole screenwriters and the director did not really understand the material in such a way that they could carry forward what J.J. Abrams envisioned / did for the movie. At the same time, J.J. Abrams also directed Star Trek. I'm bringing that in because he made the first 2 movies, and the third movie, even though it was not the same, it felt quite inside the same universe. But this movie, at the same time, it felt really off in most of the parts. Like, everything felt really off. Like, Luke Skywalker, I don't know, drinking all that. I mean, why did you even have to have that scene, Like, everything went from being badass to being weird. I mean, I understand weirdness is a part of the thing, but we were expecting like a really cool return of Luke Skywalker, but all we got was a really weirded out one. And, the whole arc with, Kylo Ren / Ben Solo, it was just like, they wanted to like make something different, but they were not going for it. And at the same time, the Rose and Finn thing, like, everything was just out of place, like I said before. And I really felt that this movie had the potential, but they ruined it with jokes, unnecessary sequences, unnecessary merchandise placements, unnecessary character development. Like, things just fell out of place. Like, Leia is all cool, but when she's all like, oh, why are you looking at me? You don't need to do that. You don't need to create a comedic moment out of it. You can create a badass moment out of it. Like, sometimes movie needs to be cliched. That's how it's supposed to be. This is not another Marvel movie. That's what these guys need to understand. But what Disney did with this movie was just injustice to the entire franchise. Like, look at the Rotten Tomatoes audience score. They understand what the movie has done and what it messed up. Like, they hyped it up so much that it just wasn't good. So in the end, my honest opinion about the movie is that the movie really did not, live up to the expectations. It did not live up to the hype. It did not live up to anything for that matter. They could have done it better. They could have kept a better story. I mean, actually, the story was good. The storyline is good. The whole thing, Poe trying to save, everything was trying to save. but they did not do it in such a way that it would gel up well. It just looked out of place. It was like I was watching, I don't know, as I said, Amazing Spider-Man 2. There were just too many threads, and no one know how to tie up loose ends now. And the whole merchandise placement with perks. Oh god, that's the most stupidest thing ever. I don't even know why. I don't know, man. Like everything is like, as I said, in the end, they've thrown down everything what they've created in the past years, and they've literally destroyed what J.J. Abrams set up. But there's one thing I'm glad about is that J.J. Abrams is back for the third part of the trilogy. I just hope that it goes into this point where it actually has a fitting end. Oh yeah, one more thing I forgot to mention, like Rey in this movie. I don't know, like it's like it was a mixed feeling, like first movie she was so good and amazing, but the second movie felt very confused. Like even the first movie there was a lot of confusion, but there was bravery in that. But in this there was hardly any of that. It felt like, as I said, the new director did not know how to take these characters and make it like this. Rian Johnson literally failed at the one thing he's supposed to do. For me, I don't care, it's just a movie. But it's a big disappointment to the fans, and I really felt that there's a need to speak out about it. So yeah, I mean, in the end, that's pretty much it. So good news is we have the franchise is in good hands. J.J. Abrams is returning, so not to worry about that. So I mean, if you watched the movie, let me know about your thoughts in the comments below. And yeah, that about it. Thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't like it, comment, like, subscribe, whatnot. Peace.